new background. If you're listening, we're in my kitchen. We're in my coffee nook. I thought it would be a little bit more on brand, a little bit more in theme with coffee hang. So welcome to my little favorite spot in the house. I've got my coffee today. I have Dose coffee, their iced coffee / cold brew, whatever they call it. It's actually really good. The girl was like, you're going to be like levitating after you drink this. And that may or may not be happening, which is fine. Needed that energy and that get up to set up this whole new thing and get it working. Lighting, AC, all the things. But we're here. If you're listening, I just want to say thank you at the start for taking the time to listen and to just be a part of what's happening here. And I'm so glad you're here. So make sure to subscribe to whatever platform you're listening to so that you know when I release episodes. I'm most likely going to be changing the day I release these podcast episodes because I'm changing the day that I release my vlogs. I'm just trying things out. I am newer to this world, so as I'm learning, and even seasoned creators talk about it too, and podcasters, you kind of just have to like change things up and like don't be so concrete just from the beginning or even after you've been doing it for a while. You got to keep switching it up. So all that to say, subscribe wherever you're listening to, or if you watch on YouTube, I do post in the little community tab. And I'm going to try to be even more on top of that just to keep you in the know. So, hi. I also think that allergies have hit really hard. I think I talked about this in another episode. But I am feeling it today. And so if my voice sounds a little different, that's kind of what's happening. I've been feeling a little bit more like, y'all know what I'm talking about? So I apologize in advance. The episode I did with my sister, the 2 episodes, I had to go through and cut out me sniffling because it was wild how many times I was sniffling. So if I left any in and it annoyed you, I'm so sorry. Those kind of things get me too, so I really try to go in and edit them out, but I could have missed a couple. So all that to say about the 2 episodes with my sister, thank you so much for listening. If you missed part 2, I uploaded it at a random time, not my normal time, on Saturdays, because I was testing a new day of uploading podcasts. So last week I uploaded it on Wednesday, I think. So yeah, I think I'm going to start doing the podcast. This one's probably still going to come out on Saturday, but we'll keep playing from here. I'm just giving you your warning now that it'll be moving around. And I launched, let's go back to the sister conversation of it all. I'll make a note. The sister of it all. Thank you so much for watching that. If you missed part 2, it's up. We had so much fun just chatting. That's kind of how our FaceTimes go as well. I felt like we gave you a true representation of like how we are. And if you want to see more of those episodes, I love having Meg on. And just maybe we check in with her every now and again through her pregnancy journey. I'm so excited to walk through this season with her. And yeah, my brother has had 2 kids, but like he wasn't the one who was pregnant. And when it's your sister, it's like, it feels different. Like I remember the moment when I saw my brother for the first time hold his firstborn. And I was like, this is kind of crazy. It's kind of surreal because you're used to that person like messing with you or like wrestling with you, like giving you a hard time, like growing up, all those things. And I'm like, oh, he's like a dad right now. What is this? And like we're 5 years in now and it feels like, I feel like I didn't know life before my nieces or like my brother being a dad. So it feels so normal. But when it's your sister, I don't know, I've been very excited to experience Meg pregnant. She also can be, like me, I'm saying this because I am too, can be very dramatic of situations, even if that's exactly how you're saying it. Like, we like to be entertaining, so we are dramatic with things that we say and do. And so I just have a feeling that that's how this is going to be. And so, and there's been tears too, all the things. So yeah, I'm just excited to go on this journey with her, and maybe we'll check in with her throughout her time. So we are about to do a gender reveal. So that's going to be really fun, and I'm working on planning that currently. Before I forget, let me know if you like this background, how we're feeling about it. I'm trying to get things a little bit more on theme with all of my content and just like creation. And this felt a little bit more natural, but if it's super busy, let me know. All of these paintings, sorry to the people who are listening, 5 seconds. All of these paintings that you can see are from our wedding. We had a tent for our wedding, and it was clear, but it also, long story short, I didn't want a tent, but I also wanted, as we all do, a $1 billion wedding, and that just wasn't going to happen. So anyways, I decided to have a tent. Long story short, we can go into that more later. And so my wedding planners came up with a great idea of like making the tent look even more beautiful by adding like an art gallery. So we had a big tapestry behind the band, and on either side of the band were these paintings, and it was a beautiful art gallery. So there's some photos on my Instagram if you want to go check it out. Speaking of Instagram, I have launched the Coffee Hang podcast Instagram so that it has its own platform and place if you want to follow, and if I ask questions, and we do any sort of like advice episodes. So I'll link that below. Make sure to follow that, and you'll stay up to date over there as well. And it has the same logo as the podcast, so it's easy to find, Coffee Hang Podcast. And yeah, one more Instagram account to follow. When I made it, I was like, one more Instagram account to, what's the word? Words are so hard. One more Instagram account for me to manage. That's the word. Manage. Speaking of that, Scooter Braun and Sydney Sweeney. Guys, just this will be my one pop culture thing for the week. Yes, Taylor and Travis got engaged. I feel like that's been talked about, and I even cut it out of mine and Meg's episode, so I won't bore you with that. But why does that feel random to me? Like, I want to know what circles intersected for them to be dating, but I also am like, could be fun. I don't know. I said manage, and that's where my brain took me. The end. I don't have much to say on it. Also, definitely thought he was still married. So, hi. Let's take a sip. So, the past week up until today, I took some time off unintentionally and intentionally. That's the title of today's episode. I wanted to kind of talk about where my head was at over the past few days. And I hope it's like I share this to help, like, to be, not to be relatable, but like, so that you don't feel alone. When I got married, I moved to a different part of Nashville and like left my job. Like, I went from, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to kill that fly. I went from one life to another, and I know what loneliness feels like. And there's been other parts of my life too, but I say that to say a big part of my heart in sharing a lot of the things I share is so that you don't feel alone, or if you are feeling alone, which is a feeling that we all feel, that you're not alone in that feeling. And so, all that to say, I took some time off unintentionally. I even was vlogging. I want to check the calendar. I was vlogging about it this morning. I picked my camera back up vlogging. Yes, okay. So Starbucks menu, this is how I chronicle my life. The Starbucks fall menu release last Tuesday. But I was vlogging that morning and everything, and I was going along. And all of a sudden, I just when you're feeling creative and inspired, and then all of a sudden it goes away. And I've had moments in my life where that's been for many different reasons. This one time I was like, well, I'm not really sure what's happening. I just was doing a lot of things, which one thing about me is I love to be busy and keep just go. Rest is hard. It's something that Ev and I talk a lot about. It's just part of my personality. I am a naturally driven person. I just love to be out and about. Some of that's also, that's how I've entertained myself, growing up. When I got a car, I was going to the Walgreens, and I probably wasn't even buying anything, but I'm going to look at all the beauty products. That's just how, I hope I'm not alone in that. That was just how my girly brain functioned. And it's also how I dreamed. This is a big part of it. And that's even how I fell in love with coffee shops and coffee. I did not start drinking coffee till college, but coffee shops became something that was a place I went and found inspiration, found quietness sometimes. So all those things. And then rest, on the other hand, is a little bit more part of my core story of I just don't ever want to be lazy, because I'm not lazy. And resting isn't lazy. It took me a long time to pull those two words apart and not associate them together. But anyways, back to last week and me vlogging, and there was some other stuff I was doing. We've been handling a lot of life stuff with the roof still, and all those things. And so yeah, I remember I got home from that day. Oh, Tuesday is when I went and had a spa day, which that's what it was. I was I'm not going to vlog or anything. I'm just going to take some time, take that time to intentionally just not have my phone or my camera. And it was lovely. I had a whole Franklin day, came back. And then I remember once I got back here, I just was not inspired to keep creating or keep vlogging. And that was kind of some warning signs of okay, maybe I need to just rest. And so that's what I ended up doing. I had gotten like I said, I got the part 2 of the podcast out. And then I had posted some on Define, whatever, done all those things. And I was you know what? It'll be fine for me to because I was in such a consistent posting every day schedule, uploading all the things, which yes, consistency is key, but also listen to your internal self of when you need rest. And for me, that's not always a loud internal thing. A lot of times, because I'm so go, it can get buried, which is something I definitely want to work on and am working on. And this time around, it wasn't until last night that I figured out why I was kind of feeling all those ways. And the space of social media is such an interesting one. And I joke with Evan that it's hard because I'll just be really just real. I have my makeup brush in hand. That's fine. Over the past month and a half, and I don't say this to have a pity party, I'm just telling you what I was experiencing. I think I lost 60 followers. And yes, some of that can be those bot accounts that followed you and then they were deleted. Like, all those things can be true. But as someone who is a people pleaser, probably at the end of the day, I hesitate because I don't know that I'm a people pleaser. I just know that I want to love people well. And no, I don't always do that perfectly. But anyways, I had all these different scenarios in my head of why people could be following me. And of course, I don't know who they are. I'm not going to go look. I'm not going to search through it. And I also was getting followers. Like, what I'm not saying is that I also like gained 45, like I lost 60, gained 45, whatever. And I don't know if I've said this on here, if it was on a vlog, but I never look at follower account. Don't really care to. It's not productive. It's like looking at the scale, like not productive. And so I hope you'll find this interesting. Like, I'm just trying to share the inside of like where I'm at in my journey and kind of like what's affecting me and like where my head's at. So anyways, if after this week we don't talk about it again, cool. But I, on Instagram, you have to look at your follower or your unfollows and follows to get to what time is best to post. So I was like, well, dang, like I can't be delulu about it because I've got to like click it to go see it. And so anyways, I've just had the hardest time on Instagram because of that. I think it's made me get in my head. And I also just don't want to always be doing pretty girl shit. Like, if I'm being honest, that's just not my vibe. And I just like don't want to always be creating that kind of stuff. So, and that's just something like I think you realize as time goes along, like what you want to be creating and what you don't. And I love the podcast and I love vlogging. I love the longer form content. I think I've said that on here before. Like, I love consuming that. So of course it makes sense that I love creating that. I'm also not on TikTok. So I think a lot of my brain, one of my best friends is on TikTok, and she kind of helps my brain understand like what I'm missing, because I don't think I truly understand more of that quick form like mindset. And it's different, I guess, if I was always doing a haul or always buying those things. And that's just not what I'm doing either. I absolutely love watching a haul. You hear me? Love watching a haul. So I'm not dumping on that. And I love consuming all those things. I'm just telling you that this is kind of what I'm realizing along the way about myself. And so I got to a point where things weren't like, I just felt like I wasn't growing and I was working really hard, which, as you probably can bet, like that's really discouraging. And even though I am technically growing, and I said this in my vlog this morning, but like I said 67, but now I'm at 68 subscribers on YouTube, and like those 68 mean the world to me. Because when it comes to follows and unfollows, like that is free will, free reign. Like, you get to choose that. I get to choose that. I unfollow people all day. Listen, you get to curate your feed. That is not the point. That is not the point at all. It's that when you've set out your brain to accomplish something and it's going like against you, or it's kind of staying in one place, you can see how that can be discouraging. And maybe you're also a creator, or in your job you felt this, or in whatever, but it's like, if the needle's not moving forward, then yeah, you're going to have moments of discouragement and like just realizing, why am I really doing this? What's happening? So yeah, I share all that to just share, like, again, you're not alone if you've ever felt any bit of that. Moving on from that conversation. So part of why I took time off was I was feeling all of that while also still creating. And then more of the like, Molly did this to herself When I set out to do something, I am going to do it like I am the damn CEO. And that is exactly what I started doing ever since I started creating. I said, I'm going to start a podcast. I'm going to also have a beauty brand that's called Define Beauty. And then I'm going to have an Instagram page that is a visual diary that I do monthly themes every month. And then I'm also going to have my personal Instagram. And then I'm going to vlog as well. And then I'm going to post everything on LTK and also make sure it's on this channel and that channel. Y'all, no wonder she needed 5 days off. Like, Malls, you did it to yourself. And I don't say that in a shaming way. I say that in a funny way, like, girlfriend. Which, like, blessing and a curse. I'm not shaming myself. I kind of am just learning how I am, and I'm learning how I work, and that's so important. And I remember I was going to say, it's a blessing and a curse that I'm that way. And some of our best qualities can also be some of the ones that can bring us down. And so I'm glad that I got to that point, had to rest, was confused about the ways I was feeling. And then I'm here with you today talking it out and figuring it all out and talking about it and sharing it. I was telling Evan on our walk to get coffee, I was like, well, let me say this first. I'm trying to figure out like fully what I'm known for, or like, you know, they talk a lot about like niching down your content. And it's also just, it was a good thought experiment just for life and just for like self-awareness, like all the things. And I told Ev, I was like, you know, when it comes to the podcast, I know that I want, like, I know that I want to be real. And in the sense of, I want to not have a pity party, but like tell you, hey, losing 60 followers, but then gaining 45, like that was a weird mind game that happened, you know, like I want to, and if you laugh, like cool, but those of you who have been in those moments and have experienced that in your life, like I said, I hope it helps you not feel alone. And knowing that someone else has felt that way. And feel free to, like, if you're in that, still in that moment, like DM me, let's chat about it. So I was telling Ev, like, that is something that's important to me. I think it's very easy in different parts of life to feel lonely or feel like you're the only one experiencing it. And if I can talk about life things deep and funny, and it help you know that you're not the only one who experienced it, then that's what I'm going to do. So anyways, took time off. I have to tell y'all what I did. I went back to my gaming days. And let me tell y'all something. It wasn't like I was doing something which I love Mario Kart. Let's talk about that. Love Mario Kart. One of my best friends is a gamer. And she was like, girl, have you played Sims 4? And I said, I have not played Sims since middle school or younger. Like, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that I could have any of these games. You know, our computers these days don't have CD like things. And so when I don't know a word, I say things. It's a whole thing in my household. CD things, CD ports in our computers these days. So of course in my brain, I'm like, I don't even have a tower. So how do I play that game on my laptop? She was like, you just download the game from the internet. And I was like, you're kidding. I another thing about me is I absolutely love interior design. I love watching HGTV, always have. Love Studio McGee, love watching her YouTube channel, and Joanna Gaines. Like, I'm there. And I also love my edit girls. Oh my gosh, why am I forgetting what their names are? The home edit gals. Love them. So all that to say, I've always loved interior, got to work in a little bit of it with my time at Anthro and absolutely loved it. What I did for 5 days is, other than like actually doing life, like I wasn't just bumming on the couch, but I built houses on Sims, and the way that my creative juices like rested, but also I was doing something that no one could judge or view or unfollow me for or follow me for. And I wasn't going to share it to get any sort of praise or hate or whatever, like it was all me. Like, yes, I'm showing Evan. And I'm like, babe, look at this. Like, I was making like 3 different houses. I'm working on another one right now. My new favorite thing is when we're driving around and I see a pretty house, like I take a photo of it and then I like make it in the Sims game. It's like a weird exercise. Having a lot of fun. And I found that, and I'm so thankful, like, thank you, Rachel, for being a best friend in that moment and not realizing like what you were extending to me, because I think it was Sunday. Ev and I were like having our time together and all that, and we finally got home, and that night he was doing yoga and I popped on Sims and was building one of the houses, and I just felt my creative inspiration coming back. My creative juices just started coming back, and in the sense of I had some ideas for how I wanted to start my vlog on Monday, and then how I wanted to do this or that. And I started just making some notes with no pressure. And by Tuesday, I got to thinking a little bit more about like, okay, what do I need like going forward? Because I do want to like give this a good shot, and like I am having fun with these elements of creating. Like, what do I keep doing, So that's where I started thinking about changing my priorities more to YouTube, and like giving just having a break over on Instagram, because we're just not friends at the moment. And so I'm being silly and dramatic, but give time to the content that I really want to make. And so I told Ev, I was like, for the month of September, that's what I'm going to do. And I even am thinking about redoing like my Define page, because I really want that to be, I love coming up with what I see for that month fashion wise. Because inspirational to me, and if it is to anyone else, cool, they can follow it. But that's just something I love doing and want to make content for, so I'm going to do that. And then, have vlogs, and then have the podcast, and just giving my time and energy to those things. So it's all a work in progress. And consistency is key, but also listening to your body is more important. So let's take a step. Moving off of the time off, just a couple other things I want to talk about is, y'all, I am this close to changing my phone number, because is anyone else getting spam calls? Like, and when I say spam calls, like I'm getting just today, and it's 2:30. I'm sorry, let me tell you yesterday's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just yesterday. And I even tried to set up on my phone like a focus mode. I have a bunch of different ones. Like when I'm filming, I have a focus mode. And then when I am sleeping, I have focus mode. But I tried to set up one that was like work, and it would only allow, or personal, I think is what it's called. And it would only allow calls that I have in my phone, like contacts, but the numbers were still coming through. The spam calls were. So I'm not really sure that I worked that out. So if anyone knows what I'm talking about and can help, please help me. DM me or comment below. I would greatly appreciate it. I am a no one. Like, there's no reason that this many people should have my number. I will say I was trying to find some insurance stuff for Ev and I did put my phone number in, and Ev was like, they sure well sold your phone number, because it was the day after that I got at least 8 a day. So anyways, maybe that's what it is. I just shouldn't be putting my phone number in things. But yeah, September is here, y'all. I am so excited. I love a new month, as we know. If you've been here for a minute, love a new month, love a new beginning. It's so fun, so exciting, and it's also coming into a season I love. I keep talking about her. Hey, Rach, this is clearly just like my love episode for you. I love you so much, but I have Rachel and a few other people in my life who feel so opposite of me about this season, and you might as well. They love summer and like hate that it's coming into the colder seasons. But this is where I'm like, my Uggs are coming out. I am going to have more clothes on. Like, this is where I feel like I come alive, other than feeling really like the sickness and a lot of the illnesses that come in this time, and the allergies. Like, I don't love that for everyone, and even like the seasonal depression and all that stuff. But I love the love for pumpkin spice that everyone gets, the love for cinnamon, like all the things. And I just love the holidays. I think it's just big family girl. So September is here. All that to say, September is here. It's still very warm here in Nashville, and it might be where you are too. I think it's warm in a lot of places right now, but I'm definitely still mood boarding the fall fashion for September, even though I kind of I tried to put on like a long sleeve, like a button down vibe and pants today, and I was like, girlfriend, it is like 80 something degrees outside. Like, no. I was about to walk to get some coffee with Evan, and I was just like, there's no way. So anyways, we're figuring it out. It's colder in my mind. I did not do an August favorites last week. I know we talked about July favorites in the last week of July, and that was really fun. I wanted to let the 2 parts of the podcast with my sister have its time, so I did that, and we'll pick back up with our September favorites at the end of this month, and we'll go from there. So that is all I have for this week. Thank you so much for listening to my chats and just being here. And I would love to have this be a dialogue, not just a monologue. So feel free to comment below. Let me know your thoughts, or DM me. And I will see y'all in the next one. Cheers. Bye, guys.